Okay, so this is gonna be our first VOD of, I think this is Wildfire White. Yeah. So it's gonna be on a scuffed. It's gonna be scuffed for until December. Um, as you guys know, if you didn't know, my GPU kind of died, so I haven't been able to use my desktop, at least to play quality games, since last Friday. Um, but I have a new one ordered. Should be coming at the end of the month. But just to go over how this is going to work a little bit. So we hope to have our in-house scrims on Tuesdays, regular scrims on Thursdays, and then we'll be vodding the regular scrims on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays for Wildfire White and Sundays for Wildfire Blue. Those are going to be live, but also optional. So I'll be doing them at a certain time. The time may vary depending on if I have anything to do because I am at a project site, but I want to be involved still. So it could be 8, it could be, 3 a.m. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so different depending on the week. But anyone who is able to come and wants to come can. I recommend you do come because you can ask questions. But basically, we'll be going over 2 maps every weekend. If I have time, I'll do a third. So I'm hoping to go over Kings Row Coliseum for you guys. If I have time, it's not too long, I'll go over Paraiso as well, or Paraiso. But it's going to be a little bit of a scuff setup until I get back in December, and then we'll get the ball rolling. I'll be able to get back to my regular setup, and there won't be any problems. So I'm not going to be using any pen stuff. We're just going to be going over some concepts that I see, maybe some positioning concepts, because positioning is very different in this game than it is in the last game. So Wildfire White, let's head into King's Row. This is a very tiny keyboard, so I'll be trying my best. So let's go over the comps quickly. Actually, I want to turn down the volume a little bit, just so you guys can hear me. Let's turn this down, let's turn this down, and let's turn this down as well. So our comp. So Rhine, how do I get out of this? Rhine, Sojourn, Lucio, Anna, Junkrat. That's a pretty good comp. Um, I just I think that like as time progresses, you'll notice that Rhine comps work less, especially against comps that don't use Rhine comps, teams that don't use Rhine comps. So like if this team rolled out with like a Zarya with like Anna, Lucio, Genji, Sojourn, I would be very concerned with the Rhine, just because it's so much easier now for Zarya to run over Rhine because she can just walk into his face bubble, right? Then usually you'd like in Overwatch 1, you wouldn't be able to do that because you would just have one bubble, you'd have to leave, right? But you can just permanently pressure Rhine out of areas like here. Like I'm just like permanently pressuring here. I can walk up. And he's forced to either walk into you with his shield, and then he can get antied by your Ana, and he can get dashed into by the Genji, and the Sojourn can use her grenade to punish him from pushing in too much, or he can back up and just give you guys space. So and I'd like to see more Zarya on these maps, just because Zarya, until she gets nerfed, is extremely powerful. But other than that, yeah, the Junkrat makes sense. Just make sure, like, if we're thinking about positioning, let's watch positioning. So this will go for Connix and Jaden, because Jaden will be playing the Sojourn. Sojourn is like really different than your typical hit scan. She plays similarly, like she plays like in a combination of like Widow and Soldier, but she does so much more because she has that like such good mobility. So like I would constantly be playing on like super long angles, because you don't have any fall off damage for your for your railgun shot. So like I'm playing up here, right? And I'm like poking the Widow and I'm poking the Rhine, blah blah blah. He's coming in. By the time they walk in, I'll probably have 100 charge on one shot. Try to one shot the Lucio or something. Try to one shot the Hanzo. That's one pick. They start walking here. I'll go boom over to this high ground, or keep going over here, down over here maybe. right? You want to be keeping out these super long angles because there's no downside to doing it. Like you're just helping yourself by playing these longer angles because like see this angle right here. Like if we're looking at Connick's view, sure he can see the choke, but like look at this difference, right? You can see the choke and you can see this angle. Like if we go up here, we're talking about like what angles you can see. Like if you can see my mouse here, like he can see this angle, right? Maybe a little bit of this angle. But if he's standing up here, he can still see this angle that you want to look at, but he can also see far back here, right? And up here more. And, you know, he can see people going over here still. He can see people going over here, which you couldn't if you're right here. It also gives you a little bit more room to call out what's going on, right? To help your team out. The Junkrat is, I like where you're standing. I mean, there's really not much you can go. You don't want to be sitting in open space. You want to kind of be just like spamming choke from, you know, a corner. Lucio's fine. And then where is Anna? Yeah, that's fine. I would just say, since you're playing Rhine, this would be probably easier for you to play up here with a Zarya. But since you're playing Rhine, you're like, you need to be a little bit more wary on using your resources for him because he doesn't have bubble. He just has to take damage to back out. So just be careful on the travel time of the nade and stuff like that if you're trying to help him out. But all right, let's get into this. Before we start, I'm just gonna do this. For some reason, I can't left click to get rid of this. Usually, you can just left click to get rid of that, but I have to press N. So a concept that is similar to Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1, that we need to like learn as a team because we have to do this a lot, is that on defense, we're playing to deny space. All right, we're not playing to just kind of like sit on the point, right, and just deny the point. We're playing to deny space and get aggressive with the space that we do not give up, right? Like, so if we're playing up here, we're doing the same thing that we're doing right here, but we're making it harder for them. Like, the difference between Hank standing right here and right here is so astronomical that it depends on, it can stop the fight from, you can easily win the fight because you're standing right here. Like, you're allowing, like, maybe it's different for the Rhine, but what you're doing is you're allowing the supports to kind of walk in, and you're lessening the amount of stress that they have to be under, right? Like, if you're hanging out right here, you're like relocated, like look at all the space that you're giving up. Like, if you're standing right here, right, if the Ryan's right here, they're only relocated to this amount of space, right? And if they go this way, you can go this way. You try to relocate them to the least amount of space. But if you play right here, look at how much more space they get, right? They get this high ground. They can get access to over here. They can get access to, well, they can still get access to Hotel before, but they're less inclined to do so because you're standing right here. So, like, if you're playing right here, right, like I said, they only have this kind of tiny area to work with, right? But if you're playing over here, now they have this whole area, and they basically have a free walk to point. Now Tank decides to give a little bit more space, but his team's not with him, right? His team needs to be a little bit more with him. And because you walked up without your team, right? Because you guys weren't in the right position. He tried to take the space. He gets punished for it because he wasn't there in that position in the first place, and he didn't have his team with him. Forced to back out. Now that he's forced to back out, they're like, oh, he's low. Let's go in and kill him. Good kill. I mean, I don't know how they don't win this. They should win this. Oh, Jesus. That was pretty good, though. So something that's for, that I talked about with RJ when I was playing with him in comp, which is really important for Sojourn's Grenade, is that it's honestly her, in my opinion, her most powerful ability. more powerful than the railgun in my opinion, just because it does so much. And what I think like it should be used by is by kind of giving an ultimatum to the enemy team. Um, and it's similar to some other abilities like off the top of my head, if I was to just think for a second on some abilities that it might be similar to, something like maybe in some cases Maywall. Um, what else? There's just one ability that's like perfect fit for this. Maywall. Um, that's not the point. What I'm saying is that you want to use the ability to force the enemy team into an ultimatum. And what I mean by that is that you can use it in a way to where it forces them to pick a bad decision. Either way, it's a bad decision, right? So say they're walking in here, this choke, right? And say your Ryan's holding here, and Conix you're maybe like up here, up here. When you notice that the supports are like up here, you can give them an ultimatum, right? Instead of just putting it right here and allowing them to walk away, if you throw it behind them, now they have two options. They can either back up into the grenade, take a bunch of damage, and are slowed, and then it allows the Rhine to walk in more and deal with them, or they are forced to overcommit into your team, maybe with less resources, and they have no way to escape, so they have to go into your team, and you can capitalize off that as well. Another way you can use it is when someone's trying to escape after a mid fight. If you have it for mid fight and like say like the Junkrat, like there's like a Junkrat or a Reaper or whatever, or a McCree trying to walk away, you can put it behind them here, and they have to walk into it or walk into you. But thinking of it as like giving them an ultimatum. They either have to come into you or they have to back up into it, which then you can force into them. This guy thinks far is the counter to Sojourn. Like, just think about this, like, he's forcing you into that angle. If you were playing up here, he would have no angles. Like, just playing up here, like, he would literally have to just walk down here. Like, walk. One-shotted. Nano gets infested. Nice block. I would say don't flank to use that ultimate because you can get the same amount of value in a safer place on your front line or your back line because it has no fall off, right? You don't need to catch someone by surprise because you're just going to one-shot them. There's no, like, there's a difference between that and Visor, where Visor you kind of have to catch them by surprise because you're not going to just one-shot them, you have to whittle them down. But with the overcharge, you can just one-shot them right in the head. Like, just look at them and one-shot them. So maybe like you could have gone up here or up here and just like blown them away, but instead you kind of put yourself in a bad position by going around here, and you get punished for it. So let's skip to like here. If it will let me, if the game will let me. Skip to like here. Okay. Oh, you get so unlucky there. You get cliff charged. Wait, why were you over there, Tim? Why were you there? Oh, you were just like stuck here from with the Rhine. Okay. So this is another thing. I don't know your real name, I'm sorry, so I'm gonna go with Tyvoka. I'm gonna call you Tyvoka for now. when you're playing like a character like Ashe and similar to Sojourn, like if you're playing up here, this gives you like more benefit. Like I was talking about Sojourn before, because like look at what you're seeing right now. You can only see what's going on right here. But if you're up here, look what you can see now. You can see their whole team, right? You can see their whole entire team. You can see that you can like this Hanzo is your job to deal with, right? So if you're up here, you can deal with them, and you might think, oh, but I'm in one shot area from the Hanzo. Like sure, but you're also in one shot area right here, right? And you're actually in a worse position because like if he's looking at you, like he can just drop and like you have nowhere to run, right? But up here, if you say he body shots you, you can just like drop. So I would say instead, and this is the main thing that the DPS do wrong in this game so far is just whittling tank. You just can't focus the tank anymore. That's it's not it's the only time a tank should be focused is when they're antied or isolated by a Mei wall or something, or like a Zarya is just like whittling down a diva with high charge. Like there's niche scenarios, but most of the time I want you like up here just whittling down. Like you could probably one shot that this Sojourn right now if you're up here. Just body shot him, kill him. Put damage into this guy, get him out of here, and that helps out Hank way more than just shooting the tank. Like so much more value than just shooting the tank. That helps out Hank's more than you know. So Hank dies. Tim gets caught out from trying to help Hank. Ian's fragging. Yeah, like Hank, at that point you need to turn around and go after the Ana. Like there's no reason for you to go after this guy. You have to turn around and kill the Ana. Like maybe you were low, yes, but maybe that one swing could help, him dash into her and kill her. Maybe you have a chance. Like, this guy should be dead. You guys C9. How much time are we at right now? 17 minutes. Okay, we'll look at your first point attack and see what we do. But the fundamental difference of this game is that it's harder to focus on you think because there's one tank that it's easier to focus them down. But it's actually harder because the lack of one tank on your team gives the enemy DPS more room to work with, right? So it makes it harder it may make it easier to focus the tank down, but it makes it harder to win the fight because you're putting so much resources into this guy, he's getting healed, and it's buying so much time for their DPS to kill you. So, like, if we're going to approach this fight, like, we should just have... What are we running? Okay. Like, honestly, the best thing to do would be get 5, have Connix go this way, you guys just speed in, and you just run at their back line. Like, just, like, run in front of the Rhine. Just run right by him. And go kill the Hanzo and Bap or something. Like that's honestly a much better way of dealing with a hard frontline tank like Rhine than just frontlining, because that's his job, right? His job is to hold this frontline and stop you from killing the supports, right? So if you're just focusing him, he's doing his job correctly. It's the same thing with Orisa, right? It's easier for Orisa because she has all those abilities, but like if you're focusing the Orisa, like most of the time, she's not gonna die. She's not gonna die because there's no. You need to focus the supports to kill her. It's the same thing with Rhine. It's easier to kill Rhine, but it's also easier to just go right by him and just kill their supports. So I'd like to see we could see everyone run this way. Like this is such an easy fight win I can see. Connix goes around this way. The 4 of you go this way. Tyvoka jumps right up onto this Zen and kills him immediately. And you guys just run down their backline, and this should be an easy fight win. Okay, Connix, alright. A little bit of hesitation. He does go after the Zen, but he doesn't kill him. Yikes. Yeah. Like there's no more of this like stalling for pick anymore. This is just instant aggression, get into them. Like these guys are ripe for the picking. Yeah, see you're getting poked out. Can I not I can't click this? Get oh, I have to click that. What the fuck? Why do I have to click that? Alright, let's do a little bit of this. Alright, next fight we go. Okay, we all go here. Big slam. Okay. That guy wasn't ready for that. So that's how you win that fight. Again, I'd like to see you guys just diagnose this a little bit. Like, at this point, I would have Connix or Flareworth go this way and just pinch them, right? Just pinch them. It's so much easier to do that when there's no diva, right? There's no diva to help the Rhine. Like you were always scared about going like on this off angle because a diva could just burst you down and force you to leave. But they have a Rhine, right? And the diva's not going to be able to she's not going to be able to just DM one person. She has to DM the front line. So even if they're playing diva, like if you just walk this way, Connix, or Tyvoka at that, I'd rather be Connix though. And then you guys just speed into them, like boom, dead, deny, see ya. Like this guy's playing Sojourn like he's playing McCree, which is weird. Like he's not, he should be like up here or up here. Like he's not using it the character correctly. So, like the way you approach the fight can be the reason you win the fight. But that was pretty good. Good shatter. But like just to TLDR this map, like looking at our positioning is different from Overwatch 1, especially with Sojourn. It's way different than what you think. It's not anything to do with like Soldier's positioning. It's long angles, long off angles, long like back angles, like playing like Widow. Constantly moving around. And then approaching the fight is you can be way more aggressive in approaching the fight. Lots of kind of like pinch pushes where you go two different ways and pinch them because there is no off tank to help them with that, right? Okay, so what are we at right now? We're at 22 minutes. Let's go to the next map. Probably not going to be able to have time to look at Parasio. This is a short map, but let's see. All right, Colosseo. Hot take, not hot take. I feel like this is not a hot take. I think this is the worst map they've added. Other not named, not named. What the fuck am I talking about? Not named Paris and Horizon. This is the worst map. This is worse than any of the 2CP maps other than Paris and Horizon, in my opinion. I absolutely hate it. I think it was designed so terribly. It's basically a deathmatch map. Like this, look at how this is played. It's just a deathmatch map. Okay, so you come out with the monkey, with the hopefully.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Jesus Christ, this must be a short. You guys just must roll this. Okay, so something that you can notice on this map, it's very like frontline brawl centric. So Monkey works, but I think Junker Queen in some cases, Orisa and Zarya are much better on this map, just because like the most important fight is the first fight on push, right? So like look at this tiny little area that you have to fight in. Like, sure, Monkey can put his bubble down, but imagine an Orisa just like holding this angle, right? Like, I think Orisa is way better on this map than like Monkey, or maybe even better than Zarya. Junker Queen's good as too, but she's kind of niche at this point. But I like characters like obviously Sojourn and Genji. Reaper's good on this map. Orisa and Zarya, Junker Queen. Monkey's a little bit of a weird pick just because they might be running a brawl centric comp and you might struggle. But let's see how this works. They are running a brawl centric comp, so with Mei for some reason. Mei is poo poo. Mei is very bad. Don't play Mei. So I hope you guys win this pretty easily. Yeah, just make sure, like I said before, like this is just another reason that you should be like you see how early you get no value, zero value out of it. You get like no one even walks into it. Like if you waited 2 seconds and then put it right here, like look at how these people have to walk into you or walk into it, right? You used it way too early. The point hasn't even unlocked yet, so it's not like you get any push progress. Oh, what the fuck? He almost fucks himself with the wall. Big anti. Yeah, they don't really play that very well. They didn't really play the brawl comp very well. They kind of just like stood there and waited for you to kill him. So yeah, I like the monkey with dealing with the Zarya. I do. I like it. I think most times you might not encounter a Zarya on this map. You might encounter an Orisa or a Hog or a Diva. A lot of times you will encounter a Zarya. So Monkey is good against them. I just like Orisa on this map. I like Monkey does work, but there are some counters to him. You see they immediately switched to Hog Reaper. So one thing is that one tip is that no matter how many people are on the push cart, it doesn't go faster. So only one person should be on the cart at all times. And on this map, on push, you shouldn't be worried about the enemy team going for point, right? They're not going to be playing. All right, we have to play point. We have to play point. They're just playing to win the fight and get the push bot back. So I would have you guys immediately start stage where you want to play this next fight and get ready at there and let the Ana push the cart or let the Lucio push the cart. Probably mostly Ana or Genji could push the cart and then just come up when the fight begins. But like Hank, I'd like you like right here. You could have Hank right here. You could have if you're playing like Reaper or something, you could have Reaper right here. Sojourn back here. Genji, with the monkey or something like that. The Lucio with the monkey as well. Just have these off angles and have Ana just push the cart. Instead of allowing this space, you guys do that a lot where you're allowing a lot of space for the enemy team. Yes, RJ, Tinder watch for the win. I agree. RJ's getting a lot of E-pussy right now. Oh, gotta go help our Ana, guys. Oh, no, it's not. The cart, you silly gooses. Great. I love this from you guys. I love this. Going back and waiting and saying we don't have to push the cart right now. That's awesome. That was really good. I didn't expect anyone to do that. Whoever called that out, really good call. That one's not bad. Nice kill. Nice anti. Kill that hog. Nice. Anti-ing hog is like one of the times we could focus the tanks first as well. That's another instance of focusing the tank first. Really good fight though overall. You guys were patient, came back, got value out of your ult. So, like that. Looks like you probably lose another fight. So they swap to Echo and Brig. I'm assuming just to focus the back line better while the dive comes out. Like, as soon as the monkey dives in, you think the Echo's gonna go after the back line, and the break can help sustain the back line while the Echo goes for yours. Good beat. No one, your tank shouldn't be this far away from the team. There's some miscommunication happening right here. Good sleep. Should anti him probably. Oh, Jesus, Connix. Okay. Good boot. Okay, you doing this fight? You must lose the next one then, because there's still 3 minutes left. But there was a little bit of a disconnect between the tank and the DPS there. You see the tank was going by himself over here. Just make sure we're playing together. Moira now. They really don't like the monkey.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Genji.
Yeah, another disconnect between the tanks right there. Tanks and DPS. Tank and DPS. Yep. I'm assuming if I see what happened here again, it looks like we're walking in. Yeah, you guys, you did it a good job last time, but you didn't notice that you guys were down too.
Adaptive circuit.
So something Hank is really important for Monkey, especially in this game because he didn't have a diva to DM him, is that there's no reason to use your jump here. You're literally 5 feet away from them. If you just walk up, you can use your jump to escape, right? You don't have a diva to DM you anymore, so there's no, over extending, right, and getting bailed out. If you overextend, that's done for you. You're donezo, unless you have your jump, right? So if you walk in instead of jumping in, you can walk up, pepper these guys. Oh, you're down to low health. Oh, let me go back here now, right? Instead of jumping in here, get hooked. You have no jump. Goodbye. So. But you do get 114. So basically, when everyone gets over the first time a team gets over 100, it's basically over. Okay, I swap to Hog. If you're having trouble with a Hog, a good swap would be to either Zarya, Orisa, or Junker Queen. And just bully him. Just bully him. Like on Orisa, just, fortify, javelin him his heal, push him into a corner, anti him with Ana. Zarya can just bubble his targets, his hook targets. Junker Queen can pull him in with his thing, do infinite bleed, you know what I mean? It's super annoying to deal with, super annoying for a Hog to deal with those characters. Less so another Hog. It's actually easier for a Hog to deal with another Hog. Because it's just about that game of like who hooks first, who heals first, right? So it's that kind of simple concept more of instead of like having to deal with all these different kind of abilities that can deter him. Nice beat. You guys should go in with that. You idling too much. You just beat it and didn't. Oh, now Hank gets a 3K here. Got lucky. You should really be capitalizing on these beats. Okay, Reaper, this is right. It's a little late. But I'm getting it done. We're on the grind. Good ults. You basically take this here, right? Yeah, okay. So, what are we at? 35 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. But So, moral of that map is that there was a little bit of miscommunication between the tank and the DPS and supports at some points where, you know, you guys had that great moment, right, where you backed up and got that team together. Make sure you're doing that, right? There was another fight where you didn't do that, and Hank got rolled because he was down his Lucio and Sojourn. Um, Make sure we're coordinating our dives in, right? Hank, you're saying, are you guys ready to dive in? Are we ready? Because you don't have a scapegoat. If you dive in, that's it. You gotta get aggressive. There's no diva to help you. Um, that's why Monkey is a more difficult character than he was in Overwatch 1, because you have to be super precise um, with your dives. You need to say this dive is gonna work, because if it doesn't, you're just gonna die. There's no getting out unless they're bad, right? Um, some positioning issues over the maps, but that comes with time. Um, but other than that, I saw some good things. Saw some stuff we can work on, but mostly good things. So that was good. Um, I'm hoping to maybe elect a team captain for each team soon to kind of just like be the person that the scrims reached out to. You know, the scrim partner reached out to. Report the scores for a match when we do if we're in a tournament. Just a leader of the team that can kind of bring everybody together after a match and just say, good job, and have a talk. You know what I mean? So we'll maybe do that, but a little scuffed. It's gonna be a little scuffed for a couple months, but I'm gonna try my best. I really want to be involved, so I'm gonna try my best. Um, but other than that, good job.